There's a dangerous thing about intelligence. It always doesn't look like intelligence. Sometimes it looks like simplicity. Sometimes it looks like patience, and other times it looks like a man asking for rice. There's a famous legend about the inventor of chess. He presented the game to an emperor, and the emperor was so impressed that he told the inventor to name his reward. The inventor said, "Give me 1 grain of rice for the first square on the board, 2 for the second, 4 for the third, and just keep doubling." The emperor laughed. He thought the man was a fool. By the time they got to the 64th square of the board, the emperor owed him more rice than the rice that exists on earth. Over 18 quintillion grains. The emperor thought he was being generous for what he had offered, but what he was really doing was exposing his ignorance, because he understood value in a straight line, but the inventor understood value as a curve. And most people today are still thinking like the emperor. That story is a story about compounding, and today we're going to talk about why it is the most powerful force available to you if you want to build anything meaningful: wealth, skills, relationships, a body of work, and everything in between. So welcome to the Train of Thought podcast, and today we're going to talk about the superpower of compounding. So I hope you like this video. I hope you like, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel. Let's keep it going. Picture this. Somebody gets offered two choices. Take $1 million today, or take a penny that doubles every day for 30 days. Most people will instinctively choose the million, but the penny will always win, and not by a little. What actually happens in 30 days? Let's break it down. Day number 1, it's a penny. Day 2, it's 2 pennies. Day 3, it's 4 pennies. Day 10, it's $5.12. Day 15, it's $163.84. Day 20, $5,242.88. Day 25, $167,772.16. Day 28, $1,342,177. $28. Day 29, $2,684,354.56. But on the 30th day, it's $5,368,709.12. By day 30, the penny becomes over $5.3 million. The trick behind that is what makes it powerful. By day 20, you only have about $5,000. That's 20 days in. It genuinely doesn't look like you're going to be better than the guy that took $1 million. That's 2/3 of the way through, and you're nowhere near $1 million. It feels slow. It feels pointless. It feels like it will never get there. But between day 24 and day 30, that's when everything explodes. On day 28, you cross $1 million. And in the final 3 days, it multiplies into millions. Most of the growth happens right at the very end. That's the lesson. Here's the honest truth about why most people never unlock compounding. It is invisible in the short term and almost unbelievable in the long term. That is a terrible combination for human psychology, because our brains are wired for immediate feedback. You want to work today and see the results tomorrow. But compounding doesn't work like that. There's a concept in psychology called present bias. We overvalue what we can feel now and undervalue what will pay off later. So when someone works hard for months and even years and sees very little change, they assume it's not working. They stop, they switch strategies, they start over. But every time they do that, they reset the clock. Compounding's biggest enemy isn't failure. It is impatience. Every compounding journey has what I call the silent phase. This is the phase where you are putting in the effort, but you're seeing almost nothing, and everyone else looks like they are moving faster than you. This is where most people quit, not because they lack discipline, but because they misinterpret silence as failure. If you look at growth of anything over time, there are two parts. You have linear growth and exponential growth. At the beginning, they almost look identical. In fact, for a long time, the exponential curve looks disappointing. It barely moves. I call this the boring zone. This is where people get frustrated because they expect progress to feel proportional to the effort that they're putting in. But compounding, it has never been proportional. It is delayed and then it's explosive. So people leave right before the curve bends to take off, right before the hockey stick finally forms. Let's make this real. Warren Buffett is worth over $100 billion. But here's the part that should stop you. 99% of his wealth came after his 50th birthday. He started investing at 11 years old. He has been compounding wealth for over 80 years. But the uncomfortable truth is, if Buffett started later or stopped earlier, he would still be rich, but he would not be Warren Buffett. What you're seeing is not just intelligence, you are seeing uninterrupted compounding over decades. Most people don't fail because they choose the wrong thing. They fail because they don't stay long enough for the right thing to work. Let's take an example of two people, Alex and Jordan. Alex starts investing at 22. He does it for 10 years, then stops. Jordan starts at 32 and invests consistently for over 30 years. Who do you think wins? Alex, by a significant margin. Alex invested for less time, but he started earlier. That early decade was worth more than 3 decades of effort later. That's how powerful time is. There's also something called the rule of 72. If you divide 72 by your annual return, and it tells you how long it takes to double your money. At 10%, your money doubles roughly every 7 years. So if you start with $10,000 and just let it sit, by 65, it will be over 600,000. You didn't hustle harder, you didn't get lucky, you didn't interrupt the process. That's not magic. That's math, and math doesn't care about feelings or excuses. Compounding is not just about money. It applies to everything, to knowledge. Every book you read gives you a mental model. That model helps you understand the next idea faster. So knowledge doesn't grow linearly. It connects and it multiplies. 2 ideas don't give you twice the insight. They give you an entirely new insight. That's how people begin to see patterns that other people can't see. So the more you read, the more you're capable of seeing things that other people can't see. And then you have skills. An hour of practice today, it doesn't improve today. It improves tomorrow and the year after, because tomorrow you are building on a stronger foundation. So over time, you will make fewer mistakes, you will move faster, you will see things that others miss. This means that your effort becomes more valuable over time. And that same 1 hour at year number 10 is worth far more than 1 hour at year number 1. That's why experts look effortless. They're not working less, but they are working on compounded advantage. Compounding also affects relationships. Relationships compound through trust. Every time you show up, every time you deliver, every time you keep your word, you're making a deposit into the relationship's account. And over time, trust starts opening doors that your talent alone cannot open. Your network is not just a group of people, it is a compounding asset. Compounding doesn't just apply to what you do, it applies to who you become. Every day that you live, you're casting a vote for discipline or for distraction, for creation or for consumption, for long-term or for short-term. One vote doesn't matter, but thousands of those votes, they become your identity. You don't suddenly become confident, you compound confidence. You don't suddenly become respected, you compound credibility. You don't suddenly become exceptional, you compound proof. But some things kill compounding, and it is not laziness, it is not failure, it is starting over because you got impatient. If you do not have the faith and the patience to allow compounding to happen, you will never achieve what you want. It is said in the Bible that if you had the faith of a mustard seed, you would speak to this mountain, move, and it shall move. So you need that faith, you need that conviction, the belief that what you are compounding for is going to happen. Over in the Quran, among the Muslims, it says Allah is with those that are patient. Every time you abandon a path and restart, you lose the accumulated advantage. You lose your insights, your habits, your reputation, your connections. They all go. This is the restart tax. And most people are paying that tax over and over and over again. We live in a world that rewards novelty, new ideas, new platforms, new identities. So people keep switching and they confuse movement with progress. But compounding punishes constant movement. It rewards consistency. Another thing I love about compounding is that it is neutral. It works for you or against you. Bad habits compound, procrastination compounds, poor thinking compounds, addictions compound. And the dangerous part is at the beginning, positive and negative compounding, they all look the same. They both feel small, they both feel insignificant. But over time, one builds your life and the other quietly destroys it. So you have to make a conscious choice. What are you going to allow to compound? Number 1, choose your lane. You cannot compound 5 things at once. Compounding needs depth. Pick a domain and stay in it long enough to see the curve bend. Every time you change or start something new, you're resetting the compounding clock. Number 2, make your compounding nature automatic. Willpower is unreliable, but systems are not. You must learn to automate your behavior, to schedule it. You must learn to lock in. Remove the need to decide, because compounding is not about intensity. It's not about feelings. It's not about being in the mood to do the thing that must compound. It's about consistency. And then the last one is protect the chain. Your only real job is to not break the chain. Even small efforts count, because small efforts repeated over time become something massive. If you plan on going to the gym for 2 hours every day for 10 years, even when you don't feel like going, go for at least 30 minutes rather than 0. You are better off putting a weak link in the chain than breaking the chain. So let me leave you with this. Most people are waiting for a breakthrough, for something big, for something visible, something fast. But your life is not built on breakthroughs. It is built on accumulation. Small decisions repeated daily, compounding quietly. And one day, what looked like nothing becomes something undeniable. The emperor laughed at the man with the rice, but the man understood something deeper. Power is not always loud. Sometimes it is just consistent. And if you learn how to use it, you will never need to chase success. Success will compound its way to you. Stay in it. Don't break the chain, because I want to see you on the other side of the curve. My name is Hertz Fauzan, and I'm your conductor on the Train of Thought podcast. This episode is directed by Latifa and edited by Akura and Zaidan and produced by Wole Ogidon, with a great special thanks to the entire Train of Thought team. From all of us to you, I'll see you on the next train.